The first wave of Game Pass titles for May of 2026 has come out, so let's go ahead and jump in and see all games which have been confirmed so far. So starting things off, we have Final Fantasy V coming to Premium, Ultimate, and PC on May 5th. This one continues the trend of classic Final Fantasy titles hitting Game Pass every month. If you ever wanted to go back and see where the series found its identity, now is the perfect time to jump in, with Square Enix seemingly bringing these classics over on a steady monthly schedule. Also on May 5th is Motor Slice, which is a day one release. It's a third-person parkour game set in a brutalist post-apocalyptic world, where you play as a girl named P trying to make your way through a series of deadly traps. The focus is on movement, running, sliding, wall running, climbing, crouching, and using a chainsaw to cross gaps as you navigate this desolate environment. Coming on May 6th is Ben 10 Power Trip. This one follows Ben Tennyson on a European adventure as he takes on Hex and a set of crystal-powered enemies. You can transform into different aliens, fight through encounters, solve light puzzles, and explore a 3D world either solo or in co-op. Also on May 6th is Descenders Next, arriving as a game preview release. This game lets you take on extreme sports courses across snowy slopes and rugged terrain using either a snowboard or mountain board. Career and Grand Tour are now linked, making it easier to unlock parks, slope styles, and races. If you wanted to play with others, you can also squad up with Descenders Next players and take on the mountain together. We've also got Wheel World. This one's a cosmic biking adventure where you play as Cat, a young rider trying to recover legendary bike parts and perform something called the Great Shift, a ritual meant to restore balance to a collapsing universe. You'll move through neon highways, forests, and large zones, meet strange spirits, and take on rival cyclists across a semi-open world. Next up is Wildgate. It's a PvPvE multiplayer shooter that mixes tactical ship-to-ship combat with first-person action. You're navigating hazards, searching for weapons and upgrades, and switching between 3 different modes built around that blend of ship combat and on-foot firefights. And rounding out May 6th is Wuchang Fallen Feathers. This one's a Souls-like action RPG set in the final days of the Ming Dynasty. You're going to play as Wu Chang, a pirate warrior dealing with memory loss and a curse, working through the brutal combat and character progression while uncovering what's behind the chaos spreading through the world. Mixtape, releasing on May 7th as a Day 1 Game Pass title. This one's a narrative coming-of-age adventure where 3 friends revisit big moments that shaped them, all framed through a playlist of memories. You'll be skating, taking photos, drifting through these dreamlike vignettes, and basically playing through the highlights of their teenage years. It leans into that late 80s, early 90s alt-rock vibe with music and bands that define the era. Then on May 11th, we have Outbound, a Day 1 release. It's a cozy open-world exploration game where you start with an empty camper van and turn it into a mobile home. In the game, you'll gather materials, craft, and build onto your vehicle, exploring different biomes in electric camper, grow plants, cook meals, and even adopt a companion animal. The whole game can be played solo or in co-op with up to 4 players. On May 12th, we've got Black Jacket. It's a purgatorial card game where lost souls gamble their way toward escape, all built around a dark, painterly twist on blackjack. You're wagering coins, dealing with the ferryman, and using whatever tricks you can, cheating included, to survive to each round. Call of the Elder Gods is another Day 1 Game Pass release coming on May 12th. This one looks like a puzzle-driven adventure where you switch between 2 characters to solve object-based and observation-based puzzles across different locations and time periods. You'll be digging through environments for clues, flipping perspectives, and working through multi-part problems as the story leans into the Lovecraftian-inspired mystery about missing people and strange visions. Also on May 12th is Elite Dangerous. It's a massively multiplayer space sim set in a full recreation of the Milky Way. where you start with a small ship and work your way up by trading, fighting, exploring, mining, or smuggling. The Horizons content is included, letting you land on planets, use the SRV, craft gear, and run multi-crew missions. Everything happens in a connected galaxy where player actions shape the wider narrative. Then on May 14th, we have Doom: The Dark Ages. This one is a prequel to Doom and Doom Eternal, set in a medieval war against Hell. You're stepping into the Slayer's early days using classic weapons alongside new ones like the Shield Saw, fighting through grounded, brutal combat across massive dark fantasy environments. You'll also take flight on a mecha dragon, pilot the Atlan mech, and push through some of id's largest levels as the story builds toward the Slayer's legend. We've got Subnautica 2, which is coming to Game Pass. This one's an underwater survival game set in a new alien ocean planet with a fresh story and bigger focus on adapting to the environment. You can play the game solo or with up to 3 friends, explore ruins, build bases, craft submersibles, and push deeper into the world as you uncover what's actually going on. It keeps the core Subnautica style but adds co-op and more customization to the building and tools. Forza Horizon 6 lands on May 19th as a Day 1 Game Pass release as well. This one takes the series to Japan with over 550 cars and a map that mixes rural areas with the biggest city the franchise has done so far. You'll be driving through Tokyo, the suburbs, industrial districts, and a bunch of different regions around Japan, while picking up new homes, customizing your garages to show off your collection. This one's basically the next big Horizon entry, just set in Japan this time. On May 21st, we've got a couple of games. First is Bistro. You play as Panko, a young chef running a small restaurant in the village of Palapori, while monsters gather outside the walls. You'll gather ingredients, grow crops, cook dishes through mini-games, and serve both the townsfolk and the caretakers, adventurers who head out to fight those monsters. The meals that you make are going to shape their abilities through a deck-building combat system built around the ingredient effects. The other game on May 21st is Luna Abyss. You play as a prisoner sent into a massive derelict megastructure beneath the mimic moon Luna, searching for lost technology under the watch of an AI warden named Aelin. The ruins echo with remnants of the fallen colony of Greymont, pulling you deeper with voices, factions, and hints of what destroyed it. Then on May 27th, we have Echo Generation 2. It's a turn-based sci-fi deck-building RPG where you play as Jack, an ordinary dad trapped in a strange new dimension. You'll build decks from 100 cards, recruit quirky allies, and take on cosmic creatures across voxel-style worlds. The story fills in Jack's missing years and ties directly into the events of the original Echo Generation. May 28th, we have Crash Out Crew. It's a frantic co-op forklift game where up to 4 players race around a warehouse built like a full-on obstacle course. You'll boost, drift, grab, stack, and ship increasingly ridiculous orders, everything from lemons to explosives, while trying not to bury the place in chaos. Upgrades help, but disaster is pretty much guaranteed. Also coming out in May, but with the date to be decided, is RV There Yet? It's a co-op adventure about getting your RV home after being forced onto a dangerous backcountry route. You'll manage supplies, keep everyone alive through hazards in Mabuts Valley, and use a physics-based winch system to pull the RV over whatever's blocking the road. Scavenging, repairs, and teamwork keep both the vehicle and the friendships intact. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more reviews, retrospectives, and update coverage, consider subscribing to the Eyes of Oak Gaming channel. It really helps the channel out and helps these videos keep coming. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch today, and until next time, take care.